Hi, I'm Coach Corey Wayne, and this is my video coaching newsletter. And the topic of today's newsletter is going to be obsessive thinking and being perturbed because of insecurity. So I've got an email. This is from a guy. He broke up with his girlfriend a few weeks ago. And you could tell she's been backing away the last few weeks, few months that they were together. And he really didn't notice or understand why. And then so she got a new house, and he noticed she became even more distant. They were on a date together, and she was so bored that she was actually on her phone checking business emails. And then shortly after, he broke up with her. But you could tell he's upset. He's like, how do I stop this obsessive thinking? And it's interesting because it brings up something that I talk about often, and it's how we show up in life typically as a result of what happened to us in childhood, especially when we feel like love has been withheld unfairly. And so I got a quote that I wrote because this is something that's really important and a lot of people deal with it, especially like the family I grew up in. My aunts, my uncles, my grandparents, my parents, nobody showed affection. Nobody said I love you. It's like they didn't touch each other. It was just, I thought it was normal growing up, but other than the fact when I was real little and my brother was real little, it's like once we got a little older, it's like my parents didn't know what to do with us. They were just weird and awkward around us. And then when you don't get enough hugs and you don't hear enough attaboys and I love you and I'm proud of you and things of that nature, it's going to affect how you perceive yourself. And then you grow up and you go out into the world and you interact with other people, and you're just simply not going to know how to interact with them in a way that's normal and healthy because you don't know what that feels like. You don't know what that, at least definitely in my case, I not only did I not know what that felt like, I didn't know what it looked like because I just didn't see it. It didn't exist. So the quote says, people who feel like love was withheld from them unfairly tend to be unsure of themselves and can often behave needy and insecure around those they love or want to have a relationship with. When a child doesn't get the love and attention they need in childhood, they look for reasons to explain this and create a mental story that makes sense for why love is being withheld unfairly, usually that they are unlovable and that there is something wrong with them. It becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy that affects all of their actions and relationships. It's essential to your emotional and mental well-being to make sure the people who you spend your time with reciprocate a similar level of effort, love, and attention. So the other thing to consider is if you didn't get that love and attention, it feels normal not to get it. And so that's why you'll see, like what I wrote about in 3% Man, and plus in a lot of these videos, you see guys behaving in ways, in other words, staying engaged with people who don't reciprocate love and affection and attention or the same level of it, and putting up with it because to them it's normal. They don't know what normal is like. And so they constantly stay involved with people who just don't feel the same way and aren't reciprocating it. And to them it's normal. And it's obviously very frustrating because they want love, they want affection, they want attention. You know, it's really important to think about your childhood and where you came from and how your parents and your family influence you. Because you see, as we go through this email, you know, just like the guy, I mean, the title of the guy's email, he was like, how do I stop obsessively thinking about this girl? So he says, hi, Coach. My girlfriend and I broke up a few weeks ago, and here's why. Recently, she bought a new house, and ever since she shifted to her new place, I noticed a shift in her. She became overly busy with her business and spent less and less time with me. So you can tell already he's irritated and he's perturbed. She's withholding her love unfairly in his mind. And more than likely, he grew up in a family where this was his reality. But he's not seeing how his behavior is actually driving her away. So if you're familiar with 3% Man, as the woman backs away like this, obviously typically because of over pursuing or neediness, you're going to match and mirror that behavior. But for a guy that doesn't know any better, when the woman backs away, he tries to do more. Like I refer to this as the illusion of action in 3% Man. I think he has to do something because those guys are driven to do something. She had been talking about needing space, and I respected that. So when a woman says, I need space, they feel smothered. It means you're calling too much, you're texting too much, you're too overbearing, you're all over them. And as I talk about in 3% Man, especially at this far down the road, the guy should never be doing more than 20 to 30% of the calling, texting, and pursuing. But it's obvious he's probably doing way more than that. And so she's needing space because he's not acting like a man. He's acting like an insecure little girl, which is a turnoff. How is she supposed to respect his masculine core if she doesn't text or call him back in the way that, or the time that he expects, and he gets upset with her? So every time he interacts with her, he's getting upset and butthurt and takes it as a personal violation. It's just going to cause her to back away and want to have less to do with him because he's totally perturbed. He's not acting masculine. But one evening, while talking away, she told me, I'm not going to see you the next day. It almost felt like she said, I don't want to see you. Well, quite frankly, she probably was communicating that she didn't want to see you because, again, she's asked for space. And that tells me that you were smothering her and not even realizing you were doing it. Because what's really going on is you're looking for that attention and validation and love that you didn't get from mommy and daddy growing up. And so now you react the same way to your girlfriend. I didn't say anything. Things got worse when one week she would text me late in the evening only to tell me how busy she is. Men should not be getting perturbed about this. You just take it as constructive criticism and feedback for where she's at emotionally. Like I talk about in 3% Man, the chapter It's All in the Numbers, where I go through the attraction table. And when you're hearing how busy she is, she's not missing you enough. So that should be the cue that, hey, I need to back off, because you want a woman who's excited to spend time. Same with your friends. If you got friends that are like, oh, yeah, I'm busy, I can't do this, can't do that, you say, hey, when things free up, get in touch. I'd love to hang out and have some beers, catch up, whatever. And you just leave them alone. And eventually a week or two or whatever will go by, and they'll get in touch. But if you blow your friend's phone up, you're like, hey, do you want to get together? Hey, do you want to get together? Why don't you want to get together? What's wrong? Did I do something? No, you're just a lunatic. You don't act that way. He says, I got really frustrated and stopped responding to her message. She finally asked, and I told her everything that I didn't like, the way she told me that she was not going to see me, communicating that you're totally perturbed and butthurt, which is totally unattractive. And the reality is she's reacting to how you were showing up. If you were acting needy and insecure and she wants space, and then you get butthurt that that she actually takes the space, and you give her a hard time, you're causing her to associate negative feelings with being with you. And therefore, that's what she associates with being with you. And so therefore, if being around you or talking to you is a negative experience, she's going to want to do less of that. That's common sense. Getting mad at her and upset, you should be looking at yourself. What did I do to cause her to feel this way? To go from being excited to seeing me to not being able to fit me in her schedule and tell me how busy she is. When a woman's telling you how busy she is and how crazy your schedule is, she's basically saying, I don't really want to spend time around you. So you let her be. No problem. I didn't like the way she told me that she was not going to see me, that she wasn't giving time, and that she checked her business email when we were out to dinner. Granted, if you were out to dinner and she was on her phone, it was like, babe, we're on a date. It's like, put the phone away. But at the end of the day, if she's gotten to that point where she'd rather check her emails than talk to you on a date, things have been going sideways for a long time and you weren't paying attention. And that is the man's responsibility. You're the leader. If you're the leader, the buck stops with you. Everything stops with you. And the way a woman shows up, she's showing up and responding to how you're showing up, or not showing up for that matter. She finally opened up that she had been stressed about her health and growing her business, and more so because of added expenses due to the new house. She told me that physically she is not able to do all: health, business, and a relationship. It's not that she has no time for a relationship. She doesn't have time for a relationship with you because, again, you're not fun. You're not making her feel good when you interact with her. And so, therefore, of course, she wants some peace in her life. You're not bringing peace. You're not the escape from her tough life. You're just like another attention-seeking child. She wants a teammate and an equal, not a little butthurt boy that didn't get enough strokes as a kid. And that physically she's not there. To which I responded, then there's no reason for us to be together if she is physically not there. Now, this is a reoccurring pattern because it happened at least 4 times in the last year. Well, again, you're constantly driving her away with your needy, insecure jackassery. That's the reality. You need to read 3% Man and apply it, dude. If a woman pushes you away, you walk away and never look back. And then when she does reach out, create an opportunity for sex tap. Hang out, have fun, and hook up. Just like I talk about in 7 Principles to Get an Ex Back. Even the whole tone of your email is like, how can I control this girl and make her do what I want? That's the problem. Women are like cats. If you've ever been around a cat, you cannot control a cat. It does not like it. The pattern goes like this. Everything will be okay for 1 to 2 months. Then her health would start getting impacted. And finally, she would call off the relationship. Because again, if she was having health problems and you were her rock and her mountain, she would want you to be there. You would be the one that she'd be leaning on. But instead, she can't deal with her health problems and deal with a man baby who loses his shit when she doesn't return a phone call or a text in a timely manner. Get some hobbies. Go spend time with your family. Go hang out with some friends. Go to the gym. Get involved in your purpose and your mission in life, dude. You can't make the woman the center of your life. She should be a complement to it. I also want to note that she has a tendency to overwork. Doesn't matter, dude. That's irrelevant. The bottom line is her interest is low because you've chased her out of your life. Now, this time, we didn't see each other for 3 weeks. And in these 3 weeks, we have exchanged messages, but she appears closed. So that tells me, even after she wanted space, you kept barraging her with messages looking for attention and validation. Again, acting like an insecure little girl instead of a man. If I ask how she's been or how life's been, she says she is good. That's it. Under normal circumstances, she would go at length to explain things with full of emojis. It's clear that she stepped into her masculine role. No, dude. It's clear that she's lost interest for you. You're trying to go, oh, there's something wrong with her, but in reality, it's how you're showing up. You're turning her off, and you're not even seeing that. You're not even noticing it. Today, we were having an exchange when she asked me how I was doing. I gave her little details, but told her that I would love to talk over dinner. Right then and there, she stopped responding. So more than likely, he probably reached out again. You should not be chasing a woman ever or reaching out to a woman ever that says she needs space. When a woman says she needs space, you give her all the space she needs, even if it's permanent space. Besides, you're not together anymore. You don't chase after somebody that breaks it off with you. It's like he did the breakup thinking that's going to make her want me more. But he didn't really change anything. He's continued chasing her. Right there and then, she stopped responding. This has put me in an overthinking state, and I am not sure what to do about it. You're not going to do anything about it. You should be reading 3% Man and actually following what it teaches. Part of me thinks that she doesn't want to do anything with me. Hey, dude, guess what? You're right. She doesn't because her interest is low, and you did that by acting like a bitch. I know it's harsh, but somebody needs to tell you because you ain't getting the message. I would like to have her in my life, but only if she desires me. You have to let women come to you at their pace. You're trying to force everything. He says, otherwise it won't work. I also want to acknowledge that during this separation, I recognize that I have attachment issues that I need to work on, and I need to find a way to keep focused on my mission and purpose. You always have to be focused on your mission and purpose as a man. It doesn't matter what your woman is or isn't doing and whether you're in a relationship or single. Your mission comes first and foremost as a man. And when it doesn't, women are going to lose attraction for you. That's what masculinity is. No matter what, masculinity pursues the purpose and mission. When such event takes place, the relationship becomes the most dominant thought on my mind. It can't. Your purpose has to be the most dominant thought. And he says, and this is counterproductive. Obviously, you keep chasing her out of your life. He says, I would appreciate some guidance from your side. Apologies if I don't sound coherent. I'm writing out of a deep sense of pain. Well, you should take some time and focus on your issues and work through them instead of trying to make this girl your mommy or your therapist. She's supposed to be a complement to your life. And instead, you're trying to treat her like your mommy and you're getting butthurt because she's not spending enough time with you. And in reality, you're chasing her right out of your life, dude. This is such a simple problem or situation to solve. Wait to hear from her. Assume she wants to see you. Make a date. Let her do 100% of the calling, texting, pursuing. Stop chasing. Stop reaching out. Stop checking in on her. Stop trying to see how she's doing. And quite frankly, go out on some dates with some other women. Get out there and circulate. Because more than likely, she's probably not the best girl that's out there anyways. You probably settled because you're new to 3% man. It's all about woman of your dreams, not somebody that's average and mediocre. So if you got a question or a challenge and you'd like to get my help, go to understandingrelationships.com, click the products tab at the top of your screen, and book a coaching session with yours truly. Until next time, I will talk to you soon.